humans, you got to be prepared for anything. Okay, so leaders succeed when they recognize that their employees are human. Technology succeeds when it recognizes that its users are human. Watch it now. One of the things that we all got to realize and recognize that in order to succeed, we got to recognize that our work involves interaction with humans. See, I could recognize that you're human, but it's another level to interact with the human. A lot of people live around humans, but your neighbors don't see you. You've determined, I'm not interacting with my neighbors. I'm not mingling with my neighbors. I'm not building no relationship with my neighbors. Do you have neighbors? Yes, you have neighbors. What they name? You don't know. Because you made up in your mind, you're not but your success is going to be determined when you realize that your work, your job involves interacting with human beings. Interacting talks about relationship. Interacting talks about relationship. All right, before I finish, let me throw a couple more things out at you. Let me throw two more things out at you. You must continue to create value for others, and it doesn't cost you a penny. As a leader, as a person, you must continue to add value to others, and it don't cost you a penny. You know, many years ago, I've learned that it is cheaper to say sorry than to buy a gift. To add value to people's life doesn't cost you a single thing. And that's what I like about God. Whatever God says, you are the salt of the earth, you ain't got to go buy that salt. God says you are the light of the world, you don't got to go buy that light. Oh, glory be to God. The more salt you sprinkle, the more salt God gives you. The more salt you distribute, is the more God gives you. I don't care how often you let your light shine, the battery, the energy, the AC, or the DC current that's needed to make your light shine, God will give it to you so long as you letting it shine. Lord God, this is a good teaching tonight. I don't care how much, if you throw all the salt until you are exhausted, if you let your light shine until you are exhausted, if there's another opportunity to let it shine, it's going to happen. So, God didn't give you anything that you got to call over to Nassau to get some more of, or bring on the boat from Miami. God gave you something to distribute that doesn't cost a thing. My God. Hey, listen, when I was preparing my notes, I didn't even think about it like that. This was neat. What I'm telling you right now, not even in my notes. This just came right up. The Holy Ghost just made me to know this. So, you must continue to add value to others, and it doesn't cost you a penny. Being employable means having skill set that makes you desirable to any employer. Are you desirable to any employer? If you are not desirable, watch it. If the only church you are desirable to is the church you go to, you're not desirable. I tell people this all the time. If you're only nice to your family, you're not nice. If you're only nice to your circle, you're not nice. To be an employable person means that you have skill sets that are desirable to anybody. Anybody would want to say, I'm not going except you go. That's what made Deborah. Deborah was that kind of person. The man says, I'm not going to no fight except you go with me, Deborah. If you go with me, then I'm going. But if you're not going, I'm not going. So, a friend helps people to become desirable to everybody. Being employable means having skill sets that makes you desirable to every employer, regardless of the industry or the geographic location, no matter where you are. If you can only function in your yard, then you probably not no good. If you can only function in your circle, you probably ain't no good. But to be employable or to be usable means then you have skill sets. And so, if you only could prophesy, and that's why I have a problem with prophets. Whenever they come, you know you better hit your knees because they doomsday prophet. The only thing they know how to say is, God gonna kill you. God's gonna kill you. God's gonna destroy you. God's gonna send you to hell. But that's all God can do. The only thing God can do is hurt. God can't help. The only thing God could do is destroy. God can't repair. The only thing God can do is expose. God can't cover. My God, the devil is a liar. So there are some prophets that all they are, when you see them coming, you know they're doomsday. God preach you coming in peace. When you hear them preach, you always feel like they're upset. You just feel like somebody made them mad. They never have a different temperament other than anger. But in order to be usable, in order to be employable, you must embody skill sets that everybody can use, no matter the demographics, no matter where they are, no matter where, no matter what the job is. You got to be able to function as an usher. You got to be able to function as a praise team leader. You got to be able to function as a preacher. You got to be able to park cars in the Lord. You got to be able to share food. You got to be able to do everything. Now, you may not do it like the people that have that basic gifting, but you got to be able to do it. I'm a preacher, but I teach. You want to hear some preaching? Join me on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock and you hear some preaching. Join me on Sunday morning at 7:30, you're going to hear some preaching. So, you got to be usable. My final point, because I'm getting excited and I'm trying to keep you long. Final point. The ability to create value for customers and colleagues without spending money is something that you got to do. Sometimes I go in my store and I sit to the door, right at the door, like where the security guard would sit. I'll sit at the door. And everybody that comes through the door, I'll say good morning, good evening, how y'all doing? I ain't see you for a while. What's going on? Hey, what's happening? You know, I'll just do stuff. It ain't cost me nothing. It ain't cost me nothing to do that. And so what happens then is, if I'm not there, they say, tell the boss I'm being by. You know, tell the boss, I say, hey, ask the boss what's going on. And the next time I send them, you say, you get my message? Because I made them feel important. I made them feel special. You've got to come down from where you are to people. You don't need nothing. God gave you everything and it's day cheap. Is you more. If you brighten up a whole area, a whole family, God's still going to give you more because it doesn't cost a thing. So, the ability to create value for customers and colleagues without spending money. It is easy to do. And that's something that you got to push yourself to. You got to push yourself to it. You got to be intentional. You got to be intentional about making people happy. You got to be intentional about making people comfortable. Okay, let's quickly run over what I talk about today. Number one, success is built on relationships. Not one group and leave the other group out. Not the male and forget the female, or the female and forget the male. Involve everybody. Involve everybody. And all involve the people you think cool and the ones you don't think is cool. Involve everybody. It begins a relationship. Because the quality of the relationship determines the quality of the product, the end result. Leaders succeed when they recognize that their employees, parishioners, are humans. They could hurt. They could feel. Don't do bad things to them. Technology succeeds when it recognizes that its users are human. Your equipment is only as good as the person you put behind it. You ever went in a business place or let's say in a government office and they tell you, hold on. Like they can't work the computer or they can't work the equipment. Yeah, it costs millions of dollars. But you put somebody on it that just don't know how to work it efficiently. So recognize that they're humans. Recognize that not only that people are humans, but recognize you got to interact with them. Not just recognize them and stay away from them. Interact with them. And then you must continually add value to people because it doesn't cost you a thing. Salt and lighting cost you nothing. God gave you that. You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. He gave it. That don't cost you nothing. You could do that any day because you could do it generously or you could be stingy with it. In any case, it ain't cost you nothing. You could give it out free. Give it out free. Generosity, give it out free. Good behavior, give it out free. Be employable. Be usable. Allow yourself to be created to a place where you can be usable. God want to use you, but God can't use you in the condition you are. Be usable. And then finally, push yourself to create value to people because it really doesn't cost you a single thing. Wow. I went over my time, but I'm really excited. Listen. Every day, I realize how powerful this book is. Every day, I'm realizing how powerful this book is. And every day that you do not have this book in your library, that you would not have read this book, you are robbing yourself. It's available at Chapter One Bookstore. It's in Nassau. I do have copies. You can reach out to me. Or go to Amazon and get yourself a copy. Every day, I'm realizing that this How to Be Great was a direct inspiration from God for me to write this book. And God really made it happen. God bless you. Want you to continue to enjoy yourself. Those of you that can, send us a love gift to help us do the things that we're doing. Like I said, I'm writing another book. I'm getting ready for it. I'm getting ready for 2 years. 2 years of celebration. 2 years of celebration. I'm getting ready for it. Looking forward to it. I got some preaching engagements. I'll tell you a little bit more about them as time get a little closer. But I think the first week in June, I think the second and the third, I'll be ministering. It's going to be live streaming, so you're going to be a part of those services. Really looking forward to some great things. Expecting them. Thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast today. Phenomenal leadership. Developing global leaders to reap the harvest for the Lord. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening.